All right, hey everybody, welcome back to KCF Conversations, and today I am joined by Kevin AXTMAN. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
So Kevin, how long have you been a member here at Kitsap CrossFit?
A little over 4 years now.
A little over 4 years, okay. Prior to 4 years ago, what were you doing with regard to fitness?
So when I was in high school and in college, I was very active. I played baseball all the way through playing at Olympic College.
Okay.
Even got a few tryouts with like the Royals and the Orioles, which was fantastic experience. But after I finished at the community college, I went off to WSU and really didn't have a good structured workout routine. So
did you play at WSU or
no?
Okay.
No. After I transferred, it was just going to be too much to try and walk onto the team and go through all that. So at that point, my heart really just wasn't in it.
Okay. What position did you play?
I played catcher.
Oh wow. Okay.
Not a whole lot of market for a 5'9" catcher.
But you can get really low, right?
Really
for the sliders or whatever.
So when I was in college, I did a lot of working out, just going to the rec center and lifting machine weights and treadmills and playing basketball, things like that. Staying active, but not really structured like I was when I was playing baseball.
Okay.
And so then after college, got married. Things kind of started to slide at that point. It kind of hit a culmination after my first was born. I went back to school to get my master's degree, and so I was spending 40 hours a week after working all day, going and doing homework and going to classes and stuff. So after I finished up that program, I got to the point where I looked at myself in the mirror and said, this isn't working.
Yeah. And did you have any time to do anything fitness-wise then?
It was pretty limited.
Okay.
I'd go out and I would play soccer, pick up games with friends or something, or play softball, stuff like that. But I didn't really have anything structured at that point.
Okay.
No focuses, no goals, just kind of aimlessly wandering through fitness.
Right. Okay.
So at that point, I kind of started half-heartedly getting into running and trying to go and do like YMCA type workouts, but nothing really fit.
Okay.
It was tough to stay consistent. It was tough to really have that drive to do a whole lot with it.
Right.
So.
Okay. And so, at what point then did you decide, you know what, I'm gonna give this CrossFit thing a shot?
Well, it was kind of funny. So it was December of 2015. Mm-hmm. I was going and I was talking with a friend at church, and he said, hey, my brother-in-law's been doing this thing called CrossFit. And at that point, I'd been doing a little bit of running and stuff, and it just wasn't working. And it was like, well, I'm willing to give anything a try at this point that might get me into a better place. So in talking with him, he kind of got me excited about coming in and giving it a try, and we met with you and went through fundamentals, and I think it was the 1st of February that I went and I came in for my first of 2016.
2016. Okay. All right. So we're really right at 4 years.
Right at 4 years. Yeah.
Cool. All right. How quickly did you start to notice a difference?
Almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
So within the first 3 months, I was down probably 15 pounds.
Okay.
From when I came in. So when I came in, another piece of it was that December I went and I stepped on a scale, and for the first time I was looking at a 200 number.
Okay.
And so I was sitting there going, wow. When I was in high school, I was 155 pounds sopping wet. And
right.
Seeing that kind of a difference was motivation that I needed to actually put some focus into it.
Okay. So right before you started CrossFit, you were at your peak at about 200 pounds.
Yep.
Okay.
And so over the next 2-3 months, I lost 10-15 pounds, and I was feeling pretty good about it. And then we had one of the first nutrition challenges. And so I went through that nutrition challenge and knocked off a whole bunch more weight, was able to stick with it. So over the next 6 months or so, I dropped all the way down to 165 pounds.
Wow. Okay, so 10 pounds over what you were when you graduated from high school. Yeah.
So, and then from that point, what was actually really amazing is after I hit that 6-month mark and I had kind of really lost all of that weight that I wanted to, the interesting thing was is I started gaining it back in muscle mass, and so what I've kind of found myself is I've gone back up to about 185 pounds or something, and that's been about my equilibrium point of good muscle mass, low fat content.
Okay.
Just
so you're up in weight, but you're happy with where you're at.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. And it's funny because I remember watching. And you never really exactly remember what someone looked like when they first started, but there's usually a point in someone's journey through this that they walk into the gym one day and you look at them and you're thinking, you just look different. I don't know what it is, but you look different. And then I remember I don't know if you shared a photo on Facebook or if you just showed me a photo of what you looked like when you first came in. And then in that moment I was like, wow, I didn't realize you had transformed that much.
Yeah, I mean, there was one photo in particular that I can remember from probably about 3 months before I started CrossFit, where I was sitting there on the couch with my son, and I kind of looked at myself. It's like, wow, do I really look like that? Thinking back to the high school years and stuff, and you can expect some change, but I remember looking at myself and going, wow, how far I've fallen from where I was.
Yeah.
From being in shape to not in shape, and how that felt.
Now, I mean, it's awesome. Like, you've been able to change your body. You dropped weight, but then added more muscle, which is fantastic. But not only that, but you've seen a lot of performance improvements as well, right?
Oh yeah. So when I first started, I always had pretty good lower body strength, especially. So when I did play baseball, I was a catcher. So
yeah,
the lower body work always came naturally to me.
Did you guys lift much when you were playing ball?
Yeah, so when I was playing ball, especially when I was doing it at Olympic College, we'd come in every morning, we'd do lower body work in the morning, we'd do upper body in the evening, we'd do endurance, a bunch of endurance stuff in between, but it was all machines.
I got it, okay.
It probably wasn't the complete workout, that's the other cool thing is looking back, I wish I had CrossFit when I was playing college ball, because I could see where my performance was lacking when I was playing and how much better I could have been. In fact, I'd say I'm probably in as good or better shape now than I was when I was playing college baseball.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's impressive. How long ago was that?
17
almost
years ago.
Yeah, 17, almost 20 years ago, and you feel like you're in better shape now than you were then. And there's not a lot of activities that will actually get someone to feel like that. Like at 40, feeling better than you did when you were knocking on 20. So that's pretty impressive. What are some of the things that do you know some of your specific numbers, like where you were at when you started and where you're at now?
Yeah. So when I first started CrossFit, I was sitting at 200 pounds and I was at about 25% body fat.
Okay.
In my lowest point, I got down to about 12% body fat. Right now I'm sitting at about 14, 15-ish percent, and I'm sitting at about 185 now. So.
Okay. Yeah, and I've just, I notice, I always take a look at the board, right? Take a look at Sugar Watt, and I've just watched your numbers just creep up as far as performance numbers on Sugar Watt the whole time. Like your squats and your deadlifts are always going up, and so that's always impressive to watch.
Yeah, it kind of feels 4 years in, there's a little bit of a plateau sometimes that you can hit, but I mean, just last week I went and I hit a deadlift PR for a 3-rep deadlift.
Nice.
Going and seeing those numbers come in, I'm almost positive that when I started I couldn't deadlift more than probably 185 pounds. Now I'm just under 400 pounds for a deadlift. So
nice. More than doubled.
Yeah. So seeing big changes like that, and then obviously a lot of the technique stuff coming in, not being able to do more than one double under, to being able to string together 50, 60 double unders. So, a lot of the skill work is probably where I think I'm maybe most impressed, doing bar muscle ups or ring muscle ups, doing some of the handstand movements. A lot of that that's always impressed me, that it's come along as much as it has, starting a little bit later in life with those types of gymnastic movements.
Right. And the other challenge that you've had over the years too is traveling for work. You know, and a lot of folks, when they travel for work, they're fortunate that they get to go drop into other boxes and go to gyms and things like that. A lot of times when you travel for work, you're isolated. You don't really have an opportunity to go do CrossFit somewhere else, nor do you have an opportunity to eat well and things like that. So you've had these other challenges, and despite that, you've still been able to see this continuous improvement.
Yep. So it's been cool getting to drop into gyms when I can. It's neat seeing the contrast between Kitsap CrossFit and some of the other CrossFit gyms that I've gone to, and feeling as fortunate as I am that we have the coaching staff that we do here and the community that we have here.
Very cool.
You can tell the gyms that have it, and you can tell the gyms that don't. And
yeah.
It's a big difference.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that. So aside from just having put in 4 years worth of work, what would you attribute to all the success that you've had?
I would say community is probably number one.
Okay.
So being able to come into the gym and have it where there's kind of a core group of people at the 6 a.m. class that I associate with. They know me. They know when I'm not there. Getting the message at 7:30, hey, I missed you this morning at the gym, or hey, how you doing? If nothing else, it just holds you accountable, and it keeps you honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So. That's awesome. Well, like I said, it's been fun watching you over the 4 years, and like I said, I remember when you first came in and where you're at, and now honestly, I'm looking at your numbers. Sometimes I'm like, okay, what am I gonna have to do now to keep up with Kevin, right? Because when you first came in, you were the one that was chasing people, and now I'm looking at your numbers, going, all right, now I gotta make sure Kevin doesn't pass me up too much. So it's been really fun to watch you do that, and I look forward to seeing kind of where you're gonna go from here. What do you have any goals? Anything that you're working on specifically?
Nothing real specific. I've always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I've wanted to do a triathlon. So
cool.
I'll probably do something, doing like an Olympic triathlon, and start there and see what happens. Give it a try at least. That's been kind of the other fun thing is all of the different outside CrossFit events that other CrossFitters are involved with. And so a few years ago, I wouldn't have thought in my wildest dreams that I'd go and I'd run some of the like ultra marathon trail races and stuff. So I did the Dirty Turtle a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I couldn't have in my wildest dreams thought that would be even in my repertoire 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't done things like that. Doing my first throwdown was amazing.
What year did you do it? Did you do it?
I did it in 2017.
In 2017, okay.
So I had been in CrossFit for just over a year at that point.
Okay, nice.
And phenomenal experience. The crowd, the atmosphere, the other competitors cheering you on. It was just an amazing way to go and not only give but receive from the CrossFit community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we've just announced the dates for the next My First Throwdown. It'll be our 8th My First Throwdown. It'll be May 30th. Mm-hmm. So we'll be releasing that registration sign up pretty soon. So make sure you get on that.
Sign up quick.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Well, that's awesome. We have lots of folks here with triathlon experience, so we look forward to helping you with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you wanna share?
I think that's about it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you popping in and spending some time with us. Especially appreciate your dedication and how hard you've worked. And I know there have been some challenging times with travel, with work, and things like that. And so seeing you come back in and put in all the hard work, and obviously it's paying off. So nice work.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining us. See us again for KCF Conversations.